a platform where innovation meets enthusiasm and ideas turns into action. Your presence on this occasion truly elevates the spirit of Karmatic and motivates every student participating in it. Sir, Greek for Geeks has been a guiding light for countless aspiring engineers, helping us strengthen our fundamentals and prepare for the challenges of the tech world. Having you here with us today is both inspiring and encouraging. On behalf of the entire GCCD family, I extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to you. We look forward to your valuable words and insights. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request our principal sir to please come up on the stage and say a few words as we begin our day two for Karnataka.
Good afternoon. Now it is a pleasant moment for me to welcome Sandeep Jain in our institution. Now, when he came to our institution, he sat in my chamber. We discussed many things with him, and it is surprising that he started his career as a teacher. Then he started this, what should I say, whether it's a business you call or enterprise you call, whatever you say it. Now, basically, I have seen his passion for the student, because while discussing, I was telling that there are somebody who are in the industry, then also they love teaching, and there are people like us, we are in a teaching profession, many of us we do not like teaching. This is a dilemma in both the sides. Now, a person of his stature, he has developed so many things, and he was telling that he has employed more than 200% in his organization. Now, it is an inspiration for all of us. I was discussing with Partho Haldar that there is a plenty of opportunities lying in and around. We cannot see the opportunity and we cannot grab it. And most of us, we want a safe passage. Like I am working here as a teacher or principal, whatever name you give it. At the end of the month, I am getting a salary. I am very happy with that. I don't like to take any adventure in my life to create something more new and to employ many people and to improve my salary, my earning. Now, unless and until we take challenge in our life, we cannot succeed. Many of us, we keep money in fixed deposit, no risk. You will get a fixed interest rate. The person who is keeping money in the mutual fund, every day it is rising, it is falling in my house. Sometimes I am crying, sometimes I am laughing with the rise of the fund. So unless and until we take risk, we cannot gain. And people like him is an icon to us. To show, we can see that it is possible in our life to reach a particular level with dedication, courage, and strength of taking risk. Now, I will not speak much. Only thing I like to say that the Karmatech, the fest you have organized, here also it is the labor and effort of a group of people. They have done it. They have skipped the class with a fear that they may lose good mark in the sessional. Then also they have come forward to do something new for all of you and for the institution. This is a very encouraging thing for our institution. I want that this should continue, and people like Sandeep Jain should come our institution, inspire us, and will follow their path to become successful in our career. With this, I wish this event a grand success.
Now I would like to request Sandeep Jain sir to please come up on the stage. And I would like to request our principal sir to do the presentation. Jain sir, I request you to please say a few words.
Right. Good afternoon, Principal Sir, faculty members, and dear students. In this talk, I'll talk about my journey, how I started Geeks for Geeks, and how I built it. And I'll share a few learnings from my journey. And then I'll discuss your questions, whatever questions you have, what I should be doing in engineering, what about entrepreneurship, what about cracking interviews. I would love to answer all your queries. Because I have been in this industry for a long, long time now. I have studied in a tier 3 college, I have taught in a tier 2 college, and I was in IIT Roorkee also for MTech. And I've worked as a software engineer, as a teacher, all these things. So, and I've been doing geek stories. So, I'll start with my journey. I started my schooling with state board Hindi medium government school. My fees was 2 rupees per month. I started from there, and my school topper was going for IIT preparation. I had no idea how tough it is going to be. Since the topper was going for it, I also went for it. And I actually made 4 attempts in IIT, but could not get a decent rank. My best, I could qualify the pre-exam 2 times, but could not qualify the main exam. In our times, you could appear any number of times. So I took after 12th, then I took 1 year gap, then took a coaching, then I went to a college. Where I went there, I felt like heartbroken because I was dreaming about IIT, and again studied for IIT exam in the first year. So I finished my engineering from a college called BSA College of Engineering Mathura. This college had 0% placement. No company visited us for hiring, and I was jobless after 4 years. In those 4 years, I in fact did not have any idea what should I be doing to get a job. I was purely doing academics. That's it. I was just trying to pass the exams, and I had no idea what I'll be doing. So I came to Delhi and started applying everywhere. My first target was to just get any job. But one thing very, very fortunate happened in my life. I was very clear that I wanted to be a teacher. I was very, very clear about it. Those days, there were no hiring challenges, no hackathons. I was mostly applying using newspapers. So I used to apply for a lot of teaching jobs. And I just want to highlight one thing here, that if you decide that you want to be a software engineer or entrepreneur or designer or product manager, it doesn't happen that you get success initially. It doesn't happen that you become very good suddenly on that thing. I got rejected in a lot of teaching applications also. I'll tell you a story. I was staying in Delhi and there was a local training center. That training center was teaching coding to school students. They looked at my profile and they said, "You seem to be okay, you can take some demo classes, and if our students like your teaching, then we will hire you for 5,000 rupees per month salary." This was the time of 2004. I went there and took some demo classes. After 2 days, they said, "We can't hire you, students did not like you." And I wanted to be a teacher. So I just want to tell you that if you decide on something, it doesn't happen that you start getting success, and you don't leave it also if you're not getting success. So I actually could not get this job. I got my first job in an engineering college in Alwar. Those days there were no online interviews, so this college called me for interview. They wanted a teacher who can teach advanced computer architecture to BCA students. So I went there for interview, and the day interview happened, it was raining heavily. So only 2 people appeared for the interview. They rejected the other person and hired me. So that is how I got my first job of 8,000 rupees per month. I joined there, and since I wanted to be a teacher, I had to do the GATE exam. So I prepared for GATE exam in that college. I used all the standard books, nothing else. That Galvin book, right, and that computer network standard book, Tannenbaum book. I studied in that college more than any student. I used to stay in library all the time, and I qualified the GATE exam. I went to IIT Roorkee. When I went to IIT Roorkee, in the first semester, I felt like I am in IIT now and I should be doing research, academics, and all that because I wanted to be a teacher also. So, in the first semester, my CGPA was above 9. I had never got such a good marks in any college, any school before. My school was 68%. With 68% state board, I was the second ranker in my school, even with 68% marks. In engineering, I was above average, my 70%, but in IIT Roorkee, I got above 9 CGPA. So, in the second semester when I came, I saw my seniors getting placed into companies like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and they were getting huge salaries. And I asked those seniors and people here, is there any teaching job that pays that much? There was no teaching job at that time. There were no edtechs. So I forgot my teaching passion because there was no teaching company coming to visit that campus. And I started preparing for those interviews. And there came a surprise for me. When I went to those seniors and I asked them, what are the questions that these companies ask? And this is where they told me, whatever you studied in BTech or MTech, the data structure and algorithm, the problem solving part is the most important thing. Every company is going to ask you the same. And this was a surprise for me because I had done BTech for 4 years. I had finished 1.5 semester in MTech and nobody told me that before. That whatever you're studying in engineering, your problem solving skills are the most important things. And I saw a market gap also at that time. So I started for preparation for these companies. I started solving DSA questions. I started discussing those questions. At that time, there was nothing like Geeks for Geeks. There was nothing like Lead Code, Hacker Rank, no YouTube channels. So we used to study from Stanford PDF files. There were some PDF files which were floated across IITs and all the places where these companies were coming. And then there were some forums run by students where students used to write some code which were very difficult to understand. So I used to study from there. I appeared in every company. I was like, I just wanted to get a job. And somebody who was struggling for 5,000 rupees a month job, and then your company is paying 15 lakh, 16 lakh at that time. In 2007, it was a big surprise, big number for me. So I appeared in every company. Although there were people in IIT who were like, yeah, I won't go to join this company. I don't want to work on this technology. For me, like every company is good because they're paying good. So I appeared in Google, and Google came to our campus and they did not hire anybody. I just want to highlight one point here. Even if you are one of the best campuses, you still need to go through that hiring process. You need to make sure that you are upskilled because companies come, and even in IIT Roorkee, they did not hire anybody. They did not find anybody qualified. So I was rejected there. Then Microsoft came. I was rejected in Microsoft after qualifying 1 or 2 rounds. I just want to highlight the mistakes that I made in my Microsoft interview. I qualified the first round, and then they basically asked few people to sit in a classroom, and they wrote few questions on the board, and they said you write down the code on pen and using pen and paper. There were no online coding challenges those days. So you were supposed to write code on using pen and paper or whiteboard. So I started writing code, and I did not speak to anybody. They were invigilators from the company, and I was just key. I will try the best code, most efficient code. And then there were few people who were continuously talking to those invigilators. They were asking questions like, "What are your expectations? What time complexity you want me to handle? What are the corner cases?" And when the result came out, even though I wrote the best code to the best of my knowledge, I got rejected because the people who were talking to them, those who were speaking out their mind, they got selected. So just want to highlight that when you are in any environment, any pressure environment or any interview, don't forget to ask questions. Don't forget to speak out your mind, whatever you are thinking. Finally, D and company came to that campus, and I qualified that company's all rounds, and I got a job there. I did not know what this company does, what my role is going to be. I just looked at the salary numbers. This company was the second highest paying company in IIT Roorkee. Their salary was too good. They are a finance company, a hedge fund, like a mutual fund for big corporates. So I joined there, and when I joined there and started for first month, I was actually enjoying the job because they were not giving me any too much work. The salary was too good. They were training in different technologies. They were giving small bug fixes where it was simple configuration changes. So for the first few months, it was good. After 6 months, when they started giving me responsibilities, when they started giving me more work, that is when I started realizing that I am at the wrong place. I wanted to be a teacher and I should leave this job. So I started applying everywhere for a teaching job. Since I was not PhD and my academics were not that good, I couldn't get into government colleges. I started applying to private engineering colleges for teaching jobs. I could get interview calls, and those because my degree was from IIT and I was working in a software company, but their salary offerings were very less, and I was married by that time. So they were offering me half of the salary, 1/3 of the salary, and they clearly told me that we can't give you more because that's what we are paying to everybody. We can't make exceptions. So I couldn't get decent salary. This was the time of 2006-7. So 2005 I joined this. 2007 I joined this company. 2007 and 8 I started applying to software these teaching jobs. So this was the time when in India, blogging had become popular. These days you have Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. Everybody was talking about blogging. All the young people, they were trying to create a popular blog. My friends in IIT Roorkee had created some really successful blogs. And I just want to highlight one more thing here. When you are in IIT or NIT or a top college or a good college like this, you always find really hard working people, really good people around you. And those kind of friends are always very, very helpful. When you are actually in a tier 3 college, you need to choose your friends very, very carefully. I mean, when I was in BTech, I made friends who were the best in that college. That was, intentionally done. The roommate that I had, he was not only a college topper, he was among the top rankers in the university. And I learned a lot from him. So I actually kept applying, and I started this blogging thing in India getting popular. So there were few ingredients when you want to be an entrepreneur, and those all ingredients fit very well with me at that time. First ingredient is there should be a problem that you should be very passionate about solving. So I saw a problem in IIT Roorkee that nobody knows that what are the expectations of these companies in their engineering days, and then you should have some passion. So I had this passion for teaching, so passion for solving the problem. And then you should have some basic skills. So the skills that I got, I had appeared in the all interviews of all top product companies that people dream about. So I knew their interview processes. I knew their questions. My friends had appeared, so I knew what are the questions they were asked to. So I kind of get all the data. And in Disha and company, I learned how to write professional code. When I joined there in Disha and company, the biggest challenge for me was not to code but to communicate. I was coming from Hindi medium. So for me to update a ticket was the biggest challenge. I used to go to my seniors like I could code, but how do I tell the people that I've done to resolve this problem? How do I ask questions that what do you expect from me? How do I write to those emails? There was no Gen AI those days, right? So I couldn't generate that using ChatGPT and all. So I was really struggling with that part. But with 2.5 years of the job, I learned a bit of it. I learned a bit of communication skills. I learned a bit of writing emails, writing tickets. I also learned a bit of verbal communication skills. So with those skills and with the coding skills also, when you're a student, you write code everything inside the main function. You use variables as ABCD. You don't use proper professional coding. You need to when I joined the Ishan company, they gave us some standards that we had to follow. You need to break the code into multiple functions, give meaningful variable names, write proper comments, do not write too many comments. Our code was going through a review process, so I learned how to write readable code. With all these ingredients, the skills, the market gap, and the passion to solve that problem, I started Geeks4Geeks as a blog spot, and I saw an opportunity. I did not think of very big. This is what I want to tell you, all the aspiring entrepreneurs here. See, when you want to become an entrepreneur, don't like think, yeah, I'll spend 1 year, build a world-class product. Start now. Start with a very, very small product. Try making your people around you using that product. And if they use it, you get real world feedback, right? That's how you iterate through the product. Don't think like that I'll acquire skills for a year, then work on a big product and make a world-class product. No. I mean, entrepreneurship doesn't work that way. You need to begin with a very, very small product, maybe with FLs and all, just solving some people's problem. So I started with Blogspot. Blogspot was freely available. That like you have YouTube these days, you could log in and start writing articles. And this is how I started. And when I started writing articles, I was working in Deachman company, and I was like looking for a teaching job. And since I was working there, I was afraid that if my manager, people around me gets to know about it, that I'm running this blog with my job, I might get fired because the salary was very big. I was scared. I never did any marketing. There was Facebook at that time. Was very new. Before that, there was Orkut. So I never even wrote on my Facebook that I'm founder of Geeks4Geeks. I just kept publishing. I in fact never used I used the pseudonym Karthik to write those articles because I was scared. And since there was nothing like Geeks4Geeks before, it automatically started getting traction. I mean, everybody started consuming, whether they were recruiters, they were students, industry people, they all started consuming the content. And when people started searching like this, dynamic programming, GFG, Google realized over time that these are the links people look for when they are searching for an interview question. So Google started ranking our website really good at the top. So that is how I started getting more and more traffic. I was getting traffic, but I was not making any money out of it. In fact, I was after some time I had moved from Blogspot to my own website. I was actually paying for the servers and all. And those days, when I first moved the website now, there were no actually tutorials, YouTube. I had to spend at least 2 weeks to fix Apache errors, to install Apache, to set up WordPress. And this again, your good friends help you. The people who were my friends in IIT Roorkee, they had already established a blog. So whenever I used to get stuck, I used to call them that how did you set up Apache? They were the people who first told me about WordPress. WordPress is free tool that you can just go and install on a website and you can start writing blogging website. So I started with WordPress with my own domain name. I left Blogspot after some time. I started doing it with my job. And I kept applying for teaching jobs also because I wanted to be a teacher. It was not giving me any income as such Geek Stories, although the traffic was going up. Finally, I got an offer from an engineering college called JP Institute of Information Technology, Noida. And their job offer, their salary offer was the best so far. They offered me the best salary among all the previous offers. Still, their salary was much less than what I was getting in that software company. It was 10-15% less after tax deduction, and there were no medical bugs like that US-based company, no free food. But I still was waiting for such an offer. So I resigned from that software job, and I immediately accepted that offer without discussing with my wife, with my parents, with my social circle. And I just was waiting कि यार कोई भी teaching का job आ जाए. So when I took that decision, I was not aware that how much backlash I am going to see from my social circle, my family. When I told people around me, even my wife, that I have resigned from the software job and I'm going to join this engineering college at a lower salary, everybody got upset. And all the family people around me, they all thought that I was being fired from that software job. Everybody thought that way. Nobody could imagine a person would go at a lower salary, a person would leave that software job. Nobody could imagine. And I had already resigned, so I had no other plan. So I joined that engineering college as a teacher and started teaching there. And since I was there, I had more time because the job was relatively less demanding. In these kind of company, what happens is if you write a code and that gets broken in the night, they will call you and you need to go there and fix the code. There I was 9 to 5 job, so I was getting a lot, and whatever I was teaching, I was publishing the same content. And I just want to add one more thing here. Although I got a lot of failures when I was teaching, I was trying to teach in that training center or in the early days. But when I started teaching in that engineering college, JID, guys, my HOD called me one day and he said, we have never seen such a good rating of any faculty in our college. Your rating is so good. Students just love whatever you teach. So was very, very satisfying. I had joined the college. I started enjoying the job, but my salary was still less. And to save money, I started living in an authority flat at the top floor in Noida, and there was no lift in there. There was not proper security. When I was in Hyderabad in that software company, I was living in a proper society with a proper lift, security, and all. So whoever used to come to my flat in Noida, they all used to think that this guy has gone crazy. And even some educated people around me, whenever they used to come, they used to ask me, "You're saying that he was doing something apart from the job. What is it?" So I used to show them my link, that Geeks blog, and at that time it was very basic. So they used to ask me a simple question: how will you make money out of it? And I had no answer to it. I was just, getting more and more traffic, more and more thank you emails. So I just kept working on Geeks for Geeks with the teaching job. And guys, humanity works in great ways. If you add some value to the society, society gives you back. When I was publishing that content, I simply used to write this line: if you like Geeks for Geeks, you can also contribute by sending an email to contribute@geeksforgeeks.org. And guys, what happened? We were working professionals there was a student from Kalyani Engineering College here only from West Bengal. He was the biggest contributor on Geeks for Geeks in the initial days. This guy was working in Honeywell. His name is Venki, and he used to write me emails that, hey, I took an interview today, and the student did not even know this basic concept. and you can publish this on Geeks for Geeks, and this would be very helpful. And this guy used to write the whole working code. Imagine like no AI being there, writing a working code, making those diagrams in MS Paint, right, with your hands, and then writing all the content without generative AI. It was so huge task, and these guys were doing it for free. They were just giving me back because many of them had got job because of Geeks for Geeks. So I started receiving this contribution, kept publishing with my job. And there were students, they would write, hey, I appeared in a Microsoft interview today, and this is the question they asked. I gave this answer and I got selected. Maybe you should share with the other students. And when students were writing their contribution, they were using variable names as ABCD, they were writing everything inside the main function, but they were writing perfectly working code, the most efficient solution for an approach, which was also a big thing. And when I was publishing those articles, it used to take me sometimes a day, sometimes few hours. For working professionals, few hours. For students, sometimes even multiple days to understand what they have written and to explain it and to make it beautiful so that somebody can read it, add comments to it, write naive approach to it. So I used to spend hours and days to publish this content, but I used to entertain every contribution that was coming on Geeks Stories during those days. And believe me, guys, I was father at the time, and I worked crazily on these stories. And when there was so much backlash from the social circle, people thought that I was being fired. There came a moment in my life in 2008 and 9 where I thought I should actually go back to the software companies. I had done something wrong that I had not discussed with the family. And I was really, because the salary had gone down, I was father also by the time. So I started applying to the software companies again. And that was the time in 2008 and 9, there was this credit issue in US and companies were laying off. So I couldn't get a job during that time. Nobody called me for interview, even if I was from IIT, I had software industry experience. I could appear only in one company. They took my all technical rounds, I qualified that. And finally, when it came to HR interview, they simply asked this question, the HR person, he said, you have already resigned from the Asian company and without any job offer. Generally, people take an offer and then resign. What was the reason? Did you have any other job? What were your plans? And I couldn't lie to that person. I simply told him I can't tell you. I mean, I didn't tell him that I am teaching somewhere. I told him that I can't tell you. I just it's just my personal decision. And he got offended. He did not select me. So I couldn't get any software job when I was trying to go back to the software industry, and I was very fortunate. Had they hired me, I would not have been able to build Geeks or Geeks. So I kept working at engineering college and kept publishing more and more content. After 5.5 years, for 1.5 year in that software job and 3.5 years in that engineering college, my salary had come down. I was paying 5,000 rupees per month for server cost because the traffic had grown and I was like hosted on a dedicated server. My wife got really unhappy and one day she said, boss, you need to make some money out of it? And I said, tell me how do I make money? And she said, at least put ads on it. So that is when I applied for ads on Google. And when I applied for the first time, my application got rejected. Google said some policy things. And again, my friends from IIT Roorkee, they were very helpful. I called them up and they said, hey, Google rejected my application. You are running Google ads. What do I do? And how come you got accepted? And they said, don't worry, our application was also rejected for the first time. So you just take the feedback, improve and apply again. And that was a big relief. That's the advantage when you have really great friend circle, a good community of friends. So I actually applied again and got rejected again. But third attempt, I got accepted and I started having ad revenue income. The first ad revenue that I got was around 4,500, less than 5,000. So that was my own income. I was very, very happy about it. But there was my wife and my social circle, they were not happy about it. They were like, this salary gap, this is much less than your salary gap. You spent 5.5 years on this thing and the first check that you got is very less. But I was very happy. I was like, if I can make some money, I'll work harder and I'll try to fill the gap. So I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. The target for me was to fulfill that salary gap so that I can tell my wife, my family that whatever decision I took was the right decision. So I kept working harder and harder, kept publishing more and more content. The traffic started, and kept listening to the people who were writing comments on that article. That was the most critical part. Somebody said there's a better approach to it. I would go and research and publish a better approach. So kept doing it, and my ad revenue income, it became more than double of my salary after 2.5 years. This happened. I just want to tell you the business thing also is it happened because Geeks was not only consumed in India, it was also consumed across the world because there was nothing like Geeks before. So when you get traffic from developed countries because of their high paying power, your ad revenue becomes higher. So that's how my revenue actually shot up and it became double of my salary that I was getting. And then I was literally enjoying the job and the side income. I never even told in that college, I didn't want to get fired from that college, I didn't want to leave that college also. I was enjoying it. But then, you know what happened? One day I was doing invigilation duty in that college, and somebody who got placed in Facebook headquarters sent me an email saying that I got placed in Meta headquarters and I got this job just because of your website, and let me know if there any way I can contribute, I can donate money. And I was like, this has become really big now. I should be doing it full time. And one more incident that happened was my IIT professor, he called me one day and he said, you know, Sandeep, is Geeks for Geeks run by you? I said, yes. So he said, hey, I have left IIT Roorkee. I am now Dean of Graphic in a university and you can join me as a faculty here. I'll give you more salary than JIT is giving you and you don't have to come to college all time. You can work on Geeks for Geeks. You just need to have to take few lectures. So when I saw these two events, I started feeling that this has become really popular. And you know guys, the same professor, the same IIT Roorkee professor, when I went under him for dissertation project, what happened, you know, he did, we were 5 people, 5 MTech students under him. After certain meetings, he said, every year I get a weak student whose dissertation work I'll have to do myself. And this year, you seem to be that person. This is what his opinion was about me when I joined under him. And the same professor called me and said, you know, you can join me here. So these two things actually triggered that I should be doing GeeksforGeeks full time. So 2015, I started doing GeeksforGeeks full time. The first 3 people that I hired, they were my students. They were actually some people who had they were the students who had represented that college in ACM ICPC. They qualified ACM ICPC regionals. ACM ICPC is like a World Cup of coders. You first represent your college. You are selected from your college side. Then you qualify the regionals, and if you qualify the regional, you go to nationals and internationals. So if you qualify even the regionals, you are not only a good coder, you are actually a good team player, right? So anybody who qualifies as ICPC regional, I would say that person would definitely get a great job. So these 3 students have represented that college in ACM ICPC regionals. I hired them as intern. They did wonderful job. The compiler that you see on Geeks for Geeks, it was built by those interns in first few months only. All of them got offers from Amazon. All of them. Amazon came to the campus, and one of them had multiple job offers. I wanted to hire them full time, but they all had really great offers. So they still worked with me after getting job offers. They used to enjoy coming after the college. My office was next to the college. It was a very small 200 square foot office, very small office. And they used to come to after college and they started working there. So 2015 to 2026, I have been doing it full time from those 3 interns. We are now 200 people team, and we not only publish content, we have a lot of courses, free courses, paid courses. We have self-paced courses, live courses. We have offline centers in multiple cities. And recently we launched a product called GFG Connect also, where students can connect with the working professionals. They can get their resume reviewed. They can talk to them using video call. This has been an awesome journey. I have enjoyed entrepreneurship also, and I still do teach. I used to teach at Geeks for Geeks also for a long, long time. One day, I started having problems of throat, and the doctor said you can't basically record the videos because you've overused your throat. So that is when I actually stopped teaching in my company. But otherwise, I was like teaching till 2021 or 22 in Geeks for Geeks also. So from that moment, I have started teaching to the text content only. I take care of the text articles that you basically see on Geeks for Geeks. So I've totally enjoyed this journey. There are few learnings that I would like to share with you students, and then I'll end the session and I'll take the questions from you. There are two learnings, two main points I just want to share from my journey that you can take as a takeaway from my journey. First takeaway is, if you look at my journey, I was never the best at anything. I couldn't crack IIT or couldn't even get a decent college after 4 attempts. One thing that worked for me was I kept doing some many years, even if I was not getting results, even if I was not getting revenue. So when you begin something, you might not get success immediately, even if you feel like that I should solve this problem. It takes years to reach certain level. And I just want to tell you the movie Forrest Gump or the Lal Singh Chaddha Hindi movie, the message that these movies convey, it's a very right message. That message I feel like relates to my journey. You don't have to be the smartest, you don't have to be the best, you just need to solve the problem and keep working on this for many years. It doesn't happen overnight, it doesn't happen over months. It requires years. Even if you want to be an exceptional person, exceptional employable candidate out of this college, you want your resume to be exceptional, you need to work on your tech skills for many years. You can't enjoy this engineering life just. See, what happens with a lot of students is the top tier students, when they go get into a good college, they in the first year they spend in showing off. They share their pictures, they tell people the word on the social media that our seniors got placed here, then they look at the comments. The people who go to tier 3 colleges like me, they feel heartbroken and they start preparing for IIT again. But we should not be doing either of these two. We should be realizing the fact that these 4 years are 4 years after which we will not be going most likely to another education, but we should be getting a job. And academic is one part of your engineering curriculum. You need to make sure that you become employable or be an entrepreneur by the end of 4 years. And I just want to highlight this thing. This time is the best time for entrepreneurship. You know, the job market is not very good. You all must be aware, right? You know more than me. You are on social media, right? Job market is at the worst right now, the IT industry. Indian IT shares as are 30% Infosys 40% down. The thing that is very favorable right now is the entrepreneurship. If you compare my time or time older than me, software development was very costly. When we used to hire software engineers now, they all used to prepare for Microsoft, Google. We have seen so many people leaving us because our paying capacity was limited. Everybody who joined us as a software engineer was all the time preparing for interviews. And people keep learning, keep leaving, keep learning, keep leaving. That's not the case right now. You can build any software with vibe coding very quickly. You have the best legal support in the form of ChatGPT. You have the best accounting support. You can get the documents processed for your startup. So best opportunity not for job market but for entrepreneurship market. Just look at any local problem that you want to solve, and you have all the tools available. You just need to consistently work for many years and have the passion to solve that problem. So this is my first learning. Pick something and spend years over this. Don't leave it. Take a break. Taking a break is okay. 1 day break, 2 day break, but don't leave it. Right? If you are really getting good feedback and if this is really getting some step ahead. The second and last feedback I would like to share is when you are in this engineering environment, you get in this habit of comparing yourself with your peers, and that happens in school level also in India. And we have this habit of comparing, and we always feel like this: what will happen to me? This guy is so good. He comes from a rich family, or maybe he has done school coding in school. He has so many projects. He learns very fast. What will happen to me? I just want to say, take inspiration from the people who have already know something, but don't compare yourself. Comparison creates stress, right? Pick something that you are good at or you really want to be, and just keep working on that thing. When I was in college, my roommate was not only college topper, he was one of the best rank holders in that university. And everybody who used to come to our room, they all used to ignore me and used to go to him that which notes you follow, which books you follow, how do you study, what do we can we expect in the papers. They were like asking a lot of questions. They were all ignoring me. And you know, guys, when I started comparing myself with my roommate, I was like, yeah, I also want to become topper and want to become like that. So I was like, hey, if this guy is studying 14 hours, I'll study 16 hours. And in that process, my percentage did not go up much. only few percentage change, but my health really became bad. So I just want to say, don't compare. Focus on yourself. Compare yourself with yourself. Try to be better at what you are, basically at what you really want to become. This is all from my side, guys. I really enjoyed talking to you. Thank you for so much for listening, and thank you sir for being there. It has been really great motivation. Thank you everyone. Thank you. Thank you. I'm open for the questions. Please feel free to ask any doubt in Hindi, English, whatever language you prefer. I would love to solve your queries.
Okay, so everybody, if anybody has some questions, please. I,
पूछ लो यार, हंसना नहीं है, पूछ लो, जो पूछना पूछ लो. You can ask anything.
A very good afternoon, sir. So myself, Joy. So my question is that which technical skills would be most relevant in the next 5 to 10 years? So as you have already said, like with the boom in AI and anthropic like companies, the future, to be honest, really looks shady, right? So is it like a sinking ship that you are still holding on to, or we even have any future in that? And my second question is that should we still be fixated with DSA, or we should be doing development and other things side by side? I would really like to hear your thoughts on that.
So these are really good questions, and I think these questions represent everybody's doubt here, right? As an engineering student, we all have this doubt these days. So I just want to say that tech people are always going to be required. Can this world run without tech people, without software? No. It's just that the industry is in a transformation phase, and the current job market is really not good. No denying of that fact, basically. If we have a 200 people team, and we don't need the feel of hiring more people, because every person has become so productive now with AI that one person is able to do the job of 2 and 3 people. The software tasks that we had planned, earlier it used to take months, now they are able to deliver in days. So that's the truth. That's the truth right now. But software development is not only coding, there are a lot of other things that you do. You do work with the industry, you work with the requirements, you work with the design, you test it, right? You make it production ready, you validate the code. So there are a lot of things that you do. And I strongly believe it's these kind of transformations come time and time. And it's unfortunate for you guys that you are in that duration when there is a downtime. But there will be an uptime, and I don't see that uptime happening in 1 year or 2 years. It will take years for that uptime to happen, but there will be uptime for sure. Already there is a new software role that everybody is talking about. Have you heard about this role? FDE, Forward Deployment Engineer. Sundar Pichai talked about. I would ask everybody to research about this role. There's a new role called Forward Deployment Engineer. Sundar Pichai talked about it. Anthropic CEO talked about it. I was recently in a summit where I was this Apna job portal founder, and I said job market is really bad. How do you see now? What kind of role you see? And the first role that he told me was FDE. So everybody is talking about this role. This role is you need to know the AI fundamentals. You need to know the products that an AI company is offering. Then you need to understand the tech infrastructure of the please sit down. So tech infrastructure of a company, and then you need to make a company tech enabled, AI enabled. So a lot of engineers required there. There's already this new role which has started getting a lot of job offers. So, but the market right now is definitely not good. I wouldn't say, but it's very favorable for startups, entrepreneurship. See, any company who is at a large scale, it's very difficult for that company to pivot now with AI and involve AI. A person of your age who use AI day and night. My age, I am at 44 now, and I am not somebody who would learn a new technology very quickly, and I am not used to basically AI. But you guys are using it day and night, so great opportunity for you. And about the skills, see, when internet came in, there were a lot of companies in India that got built. A company like us got built. When Jio offered free data to the Indian, the bigger beneficiaries were the company like Zerodha and Zomato, which used that internet availability and solved a local problem. I would say use that AI infrastructure, those AI APIs, and try to solve a local problem. It's a great opportunity for everybody. I would say it's going to be foolish to think that way that I will build India's ChatGPT. When I was in BTech, I was like, there is no operating system in India, so we would build our own operating system. But you know, guys, Microsoft has MIT's best people, IIT's best people for 25, 30 years to build Microsoft operating system. I would say build your own ChatGPT, solve a local problem in India using the infrastructure and the learnings that you get. That is a great, great opportunity. I mean, these kind of opportunities come very rarely. Because every large business is struggling now. A lot of large businesses are going to be irrelevant, and new businesses would come up. You won't need a lot of funds to establish business because you have AI tools available. So try solving a local problem. Use AI, use your learning, use your tech skills. Create opportunities for the hardworking people. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Tanu. My question is, if you had to start again in 2026, what would you do differently?
I would definitely do whatever I just told you. I would use AI, would pick a local problem, like there was a problem that people were not aware, engineering students were not aware that what are the expectations of these companies. So if you see a local problem that you feel like must be solved, and you have these AI tools available, you have this great infrastructure available, try using it and solve a local problem. That's what I would do. I would definitely use AI to solve a current local problem which is not solved or not good solved in a good way. Thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Shohili. Sir, according to you, what is more important for a student? 2 years of educational degree or 2 years of job experience?
I would always go with, I think somebody already said, job experience. So, one more thing I just want to say, when we enter into engineering, we all dream of all the big companies, but the harsh reality is very few of us get those big companies. You know, I told you in IIT Roorkee, Google did not hire anybody, right? Adobe did not hire anybody, they did not find anybody right in for the jobs. So we need to understand the truth. When I say job opportunities, you need to apply everywhere and try to get any internship. Don't think like I'll not work with this company, they're very small, nobody knows them. They are just a very small startup, they're not paying me. Don't think that way. Try to get any internship. Internship experiences are very, very useful. And if I look at two resumes where one resume has some internships in my domain in particular, and the other resume has degree, mass, and all those things, I would definitely prefer that resume.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. Kamran this side. Actually, I am in second year and I am solving DSA from past work from my first year generally. So when I solve DSA, everyone is here like, why are you solving DSA question? ChatGPT is here, he can solve it. So I said like, here is the number of bridge problem. We now give it to ChatGPT and tell him to solve it. He will not able to solve that problem. In like mostly I'm saying hard problem is not able to ChatGPT is not able to solve. So, but nowadays, ChatGPT is able to solve hard of the hardest problems. So, is it what we will do? Like we have to stick to the DSA and improve our problem solving skills, or we need some to do some accept some other approach.
So, I see DSA is fundamental, and you should not be like this. Ki, should I do DSA or development? You must do DSA. If you are looking to build your career in, it's like basic maths. If you want to be a teacher or any engineer, you need to know the basic maths. And this is true that very unlikely you will do DSA in a software company now because AI can do better code. But still, DSA is a hiring tool for the companies. They all hire using, most of them hire using DSA. I talk to a lot of Google senior employees. You know what? If you have worked in industry for 10, 15 years, and if you are applying for Google, they would still ask you DSA, even after 10, 15 years of experience. So this is just a fundamental that these companies do still check. And there's this thing about hiring. When it comes to top US based companies which have a lot of money, they focus on fundamentals. When it comes to startup like us, which don't have a lot of money to train people, we check a bit of fundamentals and then we check if I'm hiring an iOS intern, for example, has the person done internship in iOS, has the person done certifications or open source or all these things in iOS, I would prefer that guy. So there are different kind of requirements by different company, but DSA is still a hiring tool and it's not going to change. It's like aptitude and reasoning. You know, a lot of companies still ask aptitude and reasoning, but do you actually solve those aptitude and reasoning problems in the software companies? No, right? In code, there you solve a business problem. But it's a hiring tool, it has become more of a hiring tool now. Thank you.
So, good afternoon, sir. I am Anshul Bangoli from second year. I have a question. If a college student wants to build a startup, so what is the mistake that they should be avoiding in their first year?
So I would say make mistakes, and any entrepreneurship journey, it takes at least 5 years. Even when you are super lucky, for any startup to be known to the people. You know how old is ChatGPT? If you Google OpenAI, they're a very old company, and nobody knew them for many years. So it takes at least 5 years to get some name. So I would say if you are in first year, start now, because it's going to be 5 year journey. Even if you do everything right, then also it's going to take at least 5 years to get some visibility. So biggest mistake would be not to start. Start as soon as possible and start solving a problem. And you want to start that 5 year journey as soon as possible. 5 years also then when you are super lucky. Otherwise it takes 10 years, 15 years to get some visibility. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello sir, my name is Devjyoti. Sir, though we build a startup, but people hate the change. Like people hate to shift the platform. Like so, how can we influence people to shift? Like trust our platform. Like we are giving more opportunities. Like take myself, that is, I love to chat with ChatGPT other than Gemini. Like I am so too comfortable in ChatGPT. Though Gemini provide more opportunities or more advantages, but I love to chat with ChatGPT. So how to shift that to our platform? Like we give more opportunities.
See, you need to figure out a problem that requires a lot of manual effort and hard work that the big corporates cannot do. For example, for me in initial days, Geeks for Geeks, the biggest hard work that I was doing, I was manually reviewing every article. So that hard work can be, for example, I'm just giving some example. There are a lot of YouTube videos for DSA teaching or teaching computer science. But if you can build a platform which can convert them into different languages, local languages, then you review those videos manually and then improve them with your effort. You can pick any problem actually and then try solving it with a lot of manual effort in the initial days and then slowly automate. See, you can't build a tech that can compete with the companies. But as a young person, you have a lot of energy, a lot of time that you can put as a manual effort and build something around it. And then slowly keep on automating it also. So you need to build something which is if offering a premium service to the people that these companies cannot offer because they would have to spend. The big companies, they always look at from the money perspective. I would say as a student, don't look from the money perspective. Try to build something which is not available for free, right? Which companies are charging for, right? Using your hard work and your time. That would be something that would make people switch to you. For example, there are a lot of paid courses. So if you can explain something in a fantastic way for school students by putting in a lot of effort in video making. These days you have AI tools which offer free video making also, right? So you can make some fantastic videos for the school mass and you can explain them in multiple languages. You would need some bit of money to host it, but that's fine. You can spend that much money and then you can make those videos and maybe those videos go viral for among the school students that these nobody else has such a good content basically for students to learn maths. So there can be a lot of problems that you can solve basically using your time, energy, and your young age and your awareness about the tech. bigger people like me or the people who are running corporates, they are not as aware as you guys are in terms of AI.
Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. Myself Vishal from third year. I have a question that uh, students from Tier 3 college, what strategy should they use if they want to compete with IIT and NIT students?
See, I would say if you talk about my time, 2004, when I was in that Mathura college and when there was 0% placement, that time, though these big companies, they never used to hire outside NIT and IIT, right? But things have changed over the time. It's now more about skills. I remember there was a time when these companies were very particular that we'll hire only from these colleges and only computer science students. But they've learned over the time that the focus should be on skills and should be on the person, not on the college degree and all that thing, and not on the branch. This change is slowly happening. I've seen this change happening from 2004 to 2026. In our time, we did not have any online hiring challenges, hackathon. But these days, everybody has, although it's not same as IIT, but there are a lot of opportunities available to a lot of people. There are a lot of stories where people from a very, very low tier college got Google, Microsoft, Amazon, built a startup. And this is happening with time and it's changing. And this is the direction it has to be. It has to be about skills, not purely about degree. So you still have a lot of opportunities. Everybody has good opportunities these days. Thank you. So I will take one or two last questions and then we'll end this session.
Hello sir, I am again asking one more question. So sir, आपने भी लेसन में अपना बताया था कि लाइक एक अगर प्रॉब्लम है तो years to years मेहनत करते रहना चाहिए even if you are not getting a success. तो सर इसका एक कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन हो सकता है कि अगर आप वॉल में एक नेल मार रहे हैं, अगर वहाँ पे रॉड है तो नेल मार के क्या फायदा? आपको अपना डायरेक्शन बदल के कुछ और करना चाहिए या फिर उसमें ही लगे रहना चाहिए?
Oh, that's a very good question actually, and I think I should clarify this. See, the one reason that why I could basically kept on working was this. I was getting, although I was not getting revenue, but it was used by the people. The traffic was going up. So it's very important that you don't put your efforts in something which is not being used, right, by somebody. And you need to change your product also time to time. You need to figure out why is it not using. I don't mean that without taking feedback, just keep putting the effort. I mean to say that you put effort, don't leave it, but you need to understand the circumstances, you need to take the user feedback and keep on pivoting and changing. See, I'll tell you what, when ChatGPT came in, for a product like us, we get a lot of traffic from Google, right? And we were running this write portal where people could write and we were getting traffic from Google. And a lot of our content became irrelevant because of AI, right? But we pivoted from there. We actually, started publishing free tutorials in an organized manner. So you need to change for sure. You need to change for sure, according to the need of the people, according to the changing environment.
What if we have to change the whole direction?
You might have to. That's very true, actually. If you are in tech, you might have to change completely a lot of times. So that's something you need to have build some skills over the time, or maybe keep talking to the people the way I used to talk to my IT friends. That kind of feedback, that kind of discussion also helps a lot. Alright guys, I think that's it. I have taken enough questions now. I can take one last question, this question, and then we'll end the session.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon, sir. I said Sharnik. I have a question. You say that we found हिंदी नहीं बोलते हम लोगों को पहले लोकल प्रॉब्लम ढूंढना है तो क्वेश्चन है कि लोकल प्रॉब्लम ढूंढने के कैसे
See, that is like many times when everywhere there are a lot of problems. Even if there is Geeks for Geeks, you many times would find there are YouTube channels. You would find that काश Geeks for Geeks पे ये वाला feature और होता तो मेरा interview preparation और आसान हो जाता. You feel like that, right? When you are using any product, whether it is Blinkit, Zomato, Zero था, Geeks for Geeks. काश Geeks for Geeks पे ये content ऐसे लिखा होता. So you can write that content yourself, right, and start your own blog. So there are gaps everywhere, right? You need to just find out. And as a user, when you use a product, you will always be like, if there was like this would have been better. So that you need to figure out.
Excuse me. Sir, I am a faculty in this college, and as you are very passionate about teaching, my question is, what should be the future of teaching or teacher in the future of this AI era? Because everything is online.
All right, ma'am. So the way I see it is for everybody, whether it are teachers or students, AI has brought in a lot of opportunities also. If I was a teacher earlier, I did not have an assistant. Only the IIT professors and the best professors in foreign universities, they had the best PhD students. But now in the form of AI, I have an assistant who is equivalent to a PhD student. I can use it a lot to improve my teaching and become better. See, teacher is more of an artistic skill, right? And AI help the content that we publish on Geeks Stories. It's more of an art also. Like how do you write readable content? The AI can also generate content. We use AI to generate the content, but we use some art, some manual modifications to make it more readable. Same thing applies to teachers. They can use AI and they can give it a human touch, an artistic touch to make it better for the students. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Alright guys, thank you very much.
Just 1 minute. I don't have any question, just I make a comment that to become great, you need to be a humble first. Now a person like him is confessing that he tried 4 times for IIT, he did not get it. Many of us, we do not have courage to acknowledge this, to have this confession. Now I must know what is my shortcomings and I must be able to understand and express my shortcomings. Then only I can be the great. So I was listening his lecture from the beginning to this end. I liked it so much that if you have this type of humble behavior, then only you can be the great. So I am grateful to you that you have come to our institution and you have addressed to our student. Thank you very much, sir.
So as we conclude the Q&A session, we would like to thank you, sir, for sharing your journey with us. Your words truly inspired us. Thank you, sir.
বস ভাই বস অদ্রিজা আরে হাসিস না ভাই তোর স্নেহা 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 রাকেশ কর্নাটকের এটা সরাতো তুলছিস তুলছিস দিদি ভাই 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 সাইড ফেলিস না তুই সাইড দে ভাই হয়ে গেছে ভাই ইভেন্ট শেষ এক সাইড হয়ে যাবে ইভেন্ট শেষ ভাই ভিডিওটা করছি ভাই রাখতে দেয় না তো কাকু রাখতে দেখে যা ভাই সরে যা ভাই ঢুকতে হবে আবার আসছে আবার আবার কেন ঢুকছিস ভাই ওই আসছে আবার সাদিপ জানি আবার আসছে কোথায় হ্যাঁ আরে यार এ ভাই পেছনে পেছনে ঠিক করবি এটা এ হয়ে গেছে তো হয়ে গেছে নিয়ে চলে যাবো কি হবে আর আবে জবে দিয়া শুরু হয়েছে আস্তে দাদা ডাকি আরে কাউকে ডাক না আবে হবে নি চলো হয়ে গেছে যাও আরে হবে নি চল